Good morning, guys. Today is February 10th, 2017, and we are the pre-markets are kind of looking little dry today. There's let me just bring it up here. There's few things that are showing up here, but I just don't really see any real potential in any of them right now. So what am I watching today then? What I'm watching is RGSE. Now this stock has in the past, I have tried to play it. There was one here, I got in, ended up with a loss on it on this day because it gapped up, and I figured, if this is gapping up, I'll look to get in on the break of 350, and that's when I got in, and then it got pushed back. So I'm guessing if you guys watch my video from the February 7th, you will see it. This was got hard rejection at 350, and it basically dropped from there, and that's when I went in for. So now going into today, it already had that drop. It does have a very low float. It has a float of 212,000. So very, very low float. So once it does catch momentum, as you guys can see here on this day, it had a run from 377 all the way up to 585. In the past, it had some runs like this one. It went from 632 all the way to 1050. So it does have huge range, which I like. Now there is no catalyst on it, but there is a press release about completion of 6 million registered offering of common stock and warrants. So they've completed their offering of stocks and warrant, and I feel like buyers might start coming in. If nothing else is moving in the market, we might see some real potential in this stock. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it throughout the trading day today. But I only trade the first half an hour usually because of school, and today I have a midterm too, so I gotta go review that, more like study for it before the midterm. That's how usually it works, right? So yesterday this stock opened, yesterday it had its first green day after few red candles. So this one gapped up, sold off this one, and then it had a little green day. So today what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a break of this 245, and then look to get in. If there is, especially if there's good volume, look to get in on the break of 245, and then look for a push towards 250. If you get a break of 250, we might, this might open up towards push towards 3. So that would be my first ideal target, $3 on the break of 250. But we will see. This stock does have a history of, like, on the 7th, it broke that $50 mark, but it had a hard rejection and it dropped. So what my goal in going in this is that as soon as I get in, I'm going to put my stop 10 cents below, because I'm only looking to, willing to lose 10 cents on the stock, and then, with the target of making 50 cents. So it's a 5-to-1 ratio. I'm willing to take that. Maybe in the beginning I might not even jump in with full size. I might only jump in with, let's say, 300 shares, put a 10 cent stop, so $30 loss if it comes to that. And then let's say if it does, if it starts getting some volume and it goes over 250, maybe breaks 275, then I'll look to add another 200 or maybe another 300. So we'll definitely go see how it works, see what's happening, and we'll just kind of base it on the volume today. So there's about 15 minutes left till market open. I kind of had an early start to my day today, so I feel a lot better, a lot prepared today than I did yesterday. Yesterday I came off a big loss day, a big red day, had about 150 in loss. So today, name of the game is patience. Wait for the right setups, and don't just jump into the first thing that starts moving. Make sure that it will have some momentum in it even after I get in. So I will see you guys in a few minutes here as soon as the market's open. Alright guys, so there's still about 5 minutes left till the market open. I was just watching BIOC, and I thought I should bring it to just kind of talk about it, what my plan is on this one. So BIOC is gapping up. Yesterday I had a gap up, kind of like a doji yesterday, but today it's gapping up again, and it's opening above this 245 level from what it looks like. So what am I looking on this one? What I'm looking on this one is a push above this, I'm just gonna put this here as well at 230, just to kind of have some idea of where it could go. So what I'm looking for is a push above this 254. So as you guys can see, it tapped 254 a few times, came down, and then it started building this trend line. Right now it did just dip down a little below its trend line, but not by much. So we will see when the market opens if it can take out 254. But again, we don't want to jump in because it might just take it out and then it just crashes after. So what we want to see is we want to see it take out and then start moving up, and that's what I'm going to look to get in. I have had this stock earlier back in January 11th. I played this, got in at 292 and got out at 334. So I was looking for the break of 3, and then as soon as I got it, I looked to sell. Now this has a float of BIOC has a float of 12.72 million. So little, I wouldn't say high, but I usually like stocks that are 4, 5, 6 million in float, because then they once I get in, there's a chance that they'll move a bit faster. But this stock has a history of making spikes, so that's one reason I have it. And as you guys can see on the chart, it's kind of did a little U shape right here, comes down and then it's breaking off. So I mean, if it does starts running, and then if it breaks 3, we might test that 339 again, because that's like the next what seems to be the next resistance here at 339. So definitely has some room to run, but right now what I'm not liking is that before it went below this trend line here, and now it's this might start acting as resistance. So I'll definitely be kind of keeping an eye on it, watching it, making sure that it stays in some sort of range, and then once it breaks the range, I'll look to get in. Now RGSC was the one we were watching, that is my main watch for today. I'm still looking for the break of 245 on that. The only thing with that is right now that pre-market it is sort of dropping, so it's now it was at 235 first, now it's at 230. It still could run, so that's why I'm gonna leave it up there, and once I start seeing it come close to 240, 245, I'll look to jump in, especially if there's a lot of volume comes in. So that's my goal on that. We'll see how things work out here, but for now we're just watching. So markets are gonna open in about a couple of minutes here, guys. Alright guys, so the markets are open. Again, as you guys can see, it kind of went below this trend line here, so again, we're not looking to jump into anything. RGSC is at 227. Okay, so there's a big seller at 250. If you guys look here, 250, there's about a 45k seller sitting there, so that might be holding the stock down. SGY is running. SGY is over 750. But the spreads are very, very huge. There's about bids at 737, and then the ask is at 748. So huge spreads. Not interested in that. So for BIOC, as you guys can see, it's made a doji. So it's still indecisive what's going on with that. Our GSE is going down. It's in the red now, so I don't like that. Again, I'm gonna look in to see if I can get in for the break of 250. Okay, I just got in. There you go. We just broke 250, 255. So let's see what happened. I got in 400 shares. I'm putting my stop just over at 246. This is running, guys. So now what we're looking for is we're looking for the break of what we're looking for is they're looking for to get over 275. So let's see if we can get over 275 here. We want to keep getting some positive volume coming in. Definitely we got some buyers coming in now. So what we want to see is we want to see a get over 260 now here. Let's see if we can break this 260. There you go. We need to break this 260 here, guys. There you go. It's taking it out. There you go, 261. So what I want to see is I'm looking. I just sold 200 at 262 just to lock in some profits. Now I got 200 left, and that I'm looking to so I'm gonna put my stop just at so I got in right at 250. I'm just gonna put my stop at 252 just to look for break even there. I did lock in some profit, so kind of okay. What I'm looking for now on this is to get over 275. If it gets over 275, we might get a push towards 3, which would be ideal to see. So let's see if we can get over 270 now. That's our next target, 270. There's a big buyer sitting there. So if we can get over 270 here, we'll look to 268 needs to get taken out here. There you go, 260 is out. Let's see if we can take out 270. 269 has a big seller, 270 has a big seller, 269 might get taken out here. If you keep getting some positive volume coming in there, 269, let's go. Okay, so I tried selling at 260. I don't like this. I'm just gonna get out on the bid here. Okay, I think I sold some. So I sold 80, so I got 120. Okay, so I just got out of my full position. Not as great as I thought it would be. So let's see what we got. 32.41. After the fees, probably about $25. Again, nothing great. I obviously wanted it to get over the two. Obviously, we wanted to see it get over 275, but it was just having trouble in the 269s and stuff. And so we just didn't get that, and then it just retraced all the way back. I think it's a very steep pullback, especially if the stock was strong. It would probably only pull back to, let's say, maybe 260, and it would pull back on a bit of a low volume. That's what I would have liked to see, but the selling volume was just as much as the buying volume. So I just felt like, there's more sellers coming in now, and buyers just don't have enough strength to push it over to 70, 75. It would have nice to see it get over 275. Reason being is because if it got over 275, we would look to get in the 280s, 287s, look to break that level, and then a clean move to 3. But right now, as you guys can see, this candle got pushed all the way down. So obviously there's more selling coming in. If 250 breaks, we might get a push back towards 240 levels. So we'll see if 250 holds or if it breaks. But it might break here. 250 might break here, just because, as you guys can see, sellers are actually pushing it down right now. So shout out to Russ, by the way, one of my favorite rappers right now. Russ, R-U-S-S, check him out. Yeah, I love sometimes I play music when I'm trading just to keep myself feeling relaxed, feeling good about the day. Alright, I'll be back, guys. Alright, guys, so I was just looking at a few different plays here. KBSF, I saw it in the scanner this morning, but previously you would usually have like this one, for example, 129k in volume, 5,000, 4,000, 20,000. So the volume was like pretty dry, but it did come out of a reverse stock split today, or not today. I don't know when they did it, to be honest, but it is a reverse stock split. So today, right at the open, it actually went from just low 5s to all the way to mid 6. Got halted, and then it came out of a halt, and it went from just mid 6 all the way up to mid 8s. So a pretty huge move in a minute candle, but as you guys can see, the spreads are about like 10-15 cents, and because of that reason, it's not the type of stock I want to get into. I am watching it for a 5-minute setup though, just because I feel like if the next 5-minute candle can go back above 8, we might get a push. Because a lot of people who saw these kind of moves, they start shorting into them, and then once the stock starts coming back up, either they start covering or more buyers start coming in. So for this, what I'm watching is a high of 785. If the next candle, which will open at 9, so it will open at, I'm just trying to see what time this is. There you go. So it just opened up at 9:55. So this candle, if this can get back up to 785 and break that, then we might get a push back up towards 8, maybe 8, maybe test the 863 again, but we'll just kind of watch, see what happens. Of course, on this, if I do jump in, I'm only going to go in with 100 shares, just because the spread is pretty big. So I want to be able to move in, and then if it doesn't go my way, I want to be able to cut my loss and move out. So because once I see it go my way, it has to go basically right away. It can't take long. It can't take it can't be like back and forth. It has to just push right through 8. If I get in at 7, I'll put my order at 790. So if I get in at 790, it has to push through 8 right away, and hopefully go up and test this. If it breaks that, we have a clear chart on this, and the volume is really coming in. So if it breaks that, we might even see 10 on it, 10,975. Right, I'm gonna put my line at 975 something. Oh, BIOC just broke the 260. I'm gonna put it at 9. Yeah, BIOC is running, but so let's just pull BIOC up. Let's see what's happening. I'll keep an eye on this. So BIOC, went down. It actually held that 250 support. It tested it twice. The second time that it came down, couldn't break. It actually, ran back all the way up to 270s now. So, we played in here, got in at 250, 200 sold at 262, then a rest out at 256 and 253. So that's where we we had our trades, but now it's back. It broke that 269 level, went up to 273. Obviously we won't be chasing it up here. As you guys can see on the 5-minute, it was good place was to get in on the first 5 minute to make a new high. After it held 250, right, get in at 256, put your stop below 250, so at 249, and then look for this move. So alright guys, I just got in this at 751, 100 shares. Again, I'm looking for a push towards 8. So we're looking to see if you can get a push towards 8. It is bringing some volume in. I'm just gonna put my stop at 7. Put it at 748. I'm not trying to lose much on this, just because if it doesn't go up towards 8 right away, I'd rather just get stopped out on this, just because it's a little, a scary stock. Again, what I would love to see is a good volume come in and take out 788. That's what I would love to see on this. There you go. Let's see if we can take out 8 here. See, the spreads are pretty crazy on this. I wonder if it can take out 8. Now I did get in on a 5-minute setup, so would love for this to see take out 8. If it takes out 8, guys, we might see a push towards oh, it doesn't. Oh, I got stopped out. So good thing I had my stop there, guys. Actually, I got a huge slippage there. I got out at 733. So 17. Yeah, I got a huge slippage on that. Now you see it just popped right over. So with this, it did have that momentum right away. Could have got out in the 790s. I just wanted to see. I was just looking for the break of 8. See, now it's just going right back up. But look at the spread on this, 744 to 767. So definitely huge spread. What I was looking for is I wanted to see a break of 8. That's what I was looking to sell. But since it got up to 790, this high was 793, and it just couldn't get past that. So no worries. You know, I had my stop in place. Did get a huge slippage there though, which I didn't like, but you know, it's part of the game. So alright guys, so KBSF, you know, just got in here at 107.51, good entry, got up to 793. You know, I was just looking for the break of 8. Good thing I had my stop here. You know, as soon as it hit, I did get a lot of slippage there. I had my stop at 746, I believe it was. Let me see here. Orders. Let me see. KBSF, I had my stop at 748, and it got executed at 733. So yeah, pretty bad slippage there. Wasn't obviously you know, had a very tight stop, but with stocks like these that are, you know, very low float and they have, you know, huge spreads, sometimes that happens and there's nothing you can do about it. But you know, I'm still glad I had my stop in case, you know, it did, for example, it just basically just, you know, drop right to maybe 650 even, right? You don't know. Anything's possible with these low floats and with mid-cap stocks. So anyways, I don't see anything else. I am done trading today, ending the day green. I think I'm up about like $10 or something after the fees. You know what, guys, it may not seem a lot, especially when, you know, have bigger days when I lose, but having a green day to me, even if I walk away with $10, is very important, because last year I wasn't having any green days, right? So for me to still be able to walk away, you know, out of the week, I mean, this week I'll tell you guys here, this week I had 2 green days and 3 red days. Obviously my green days are not as big as my red days, which is, you know, which is not the best thing, but I still have a green day and during the week. You know, if I go back to my journal from last year when I was, you know, I started tracking for some few months and stuff, and it was basically just red. You know, it was just red across the board. I would have 1 green maybe in a month, or maybe 2 green days in a month. So for me to have, you know, 1 green day, 2 green days consistently throughout every week, it's just a very good sign, because that just shows me that, you know what, whatever I'm doing, you know, I'm getting better than what I was last year, and at the same time, my losses have gone down a lot too. Before it was just like I would lose big money on every trade. Now it's just like, you know, I'll have small losing days. You know, this week, not this week, sorry, last week I had a losing day when I just walked, you know, had a red day of $6. That's my losing. That's after commission, everything. I lost $6. So and you know, yesterday I had a losing day where I lost about 150. So obviously I'm not as consistent as I would like to be with my green days, and I'm not as profitable on my green days, just because, you know, I usually lock in profits earlier. I don't take my full position off. I, like, for example, this one, KBSF, you know, getting in at 751 and getting out at 790, you know, even if I would have tried to get out at 780, 790, right, that's 40 cents or so profit, and on 100 shares that's $40, right? And whereas, you know, I just waited for the break of 8 because I thought we could get it, and then I ended up getting stopped out with a, you know, a $20 loss. So it's like I have the right ideas, I'm getting better at my entries, but sometimes the stock just doesn't go. But you know what, I'm excited because I know one of these days I'm going to get in the right stock that's going to move a point or 2 points, or, you know, it's going to get halted and it's going to have a massive move, and that's where I'm going to make most of my money. So these little trades that I'm just taking that as a learning opportunity, because I know once I have one good trade with a similar pattern, you know, that I've been practicing on, that I've been learning, and, you know, I'll have a decent size and I'll get in and it'll just move in my direction, you know, 50 to a point or maybe 2 points, right? I mean, this, for example, this moved about, you know, went from low 5s all the way up to mid 8s. So things like that happen, especially when the market's hot. Past few days, this week especially, the markets have been a little on the slow side, I feel like, just because there's not much follow through is happening. So because of that, we're just kind of patiently watching, and once the market gets hot and I stay using these strategies, I feel like there's a lot more money to be made on my positive side. So thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting new videos every day, Monday to Friday. Every trading day there's a new live trade out, and you guys get to learn, watching me make mistakes. So that's the best way to learn, and I'm learning it by talking to this microphone and letting my brain hear what I have to say rather than just have it in my brain, right? It's all repetition. With trading, it's however many times you do it, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get. So I have a positive attitude going into next week. Yesterday's loss wasn't something I wanted, but I'm very excited because I know one of these weeks it's going to be a hot market where things are just going to be moving, and if I stay patient and if I stay following these strategies, I'm going to be able to get in and make 50 cents, make $1 on my shares. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's about it, guys. Have a great day, have a great weekend, take care.